Good day, champions. Let me ask you something. What if everything you've been praying for, searching for, or waiting on is already inside you? Not outside you, not in your circumstances, not in someone else's approval, but within you. You were born with power. You're not lacking power. You're unaware of it. Discover what's already inside you. Let's start with a fundamental truth. You were never created empty. You were born with power, not born to find it. It's already there. The problem is not potential. It's perception. Most people walk through life like kings who have forgotten their crown, unaware that everything they need to rise has already been placed inside of them. We've been taught to outsource our power to a job, a relationship, a degree, a system. But true transformation doesn't start from the outside in, it starts from the inside out. Now listen, power isn't about noise. It's not performance. It's presence. It's awareness. It's knowing who you are, even when life tries to make you forget. And awareness is everything, because when you become aware of what's within you, your gifts, your resilience, your capacity to adapt and grow, everything outside you starts to shift. You don't need to chase opportunities when you understand you were born to create them. Psychologically, this is called intrinsic empowerment. Philosophically, it's the difference between living reactively and living intentionally. You are not a product of your environment. Your environment is often a reflection of your inner programming. When you change your inner world, your beliefs, your thoughts, your standards, you start to reshape your external reality. You see, the greatest lie you've been sold is that you need something else to be whole. But power doesn't come from adding more to yourself. It comes from awakening what's already there. The calling is not to become something new. The calling is to remember who you are. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for conditions to be perfect. You are not missing power. You are missing awareness. And once you see it, you'll never be the same. Everything changes the moment you do. Pain is a gift, not a curse. Every struggle is a seed of strength if you learn to reframe it. Here's something we need to start reframing. Pain is not your enemy, it's your messenger. I'm not talking about the kind of suffering we romanticize or use to validate failure. I'm talking about the pain that shows up to wake you up, the kind that reveals the gap between who you are and who you were designed to be. That discomfort, that's data. That's feedback from your soul saying, you were not made to stay here. Psychologically, pain is one of the most powerful catalysts for change. It's a built-in alert system that says something needs your attention internally or externally. But culturally, we've been conditioned to avoid it, to numb it, to escape it. We treat pain like a punishment instead of what it really is, an invitation to grow, to stretch, to evolve into a stronger, wiser, more intentional version of ourselves. Now, here's the deeper philosophical truth. Everything valuable is born through a process of pressure. Diamonds are not made in comfort, neither are leaders, neither is character, and yet we want elevation without transformation, growth without tension, success without sacrifice. That's not how power is built. Your struggles don't disqualify you, they develop you. The adversity you're trying to run from might be the exact experience designed to unlock what's been dormant inside you. Don't despise the pain, study it, extract the lesson, let it mature your mindset and expand your capacity. The goal isn't to live pain-free, it's to live purposefully through the pain, because when you master your response to struggle, you take control of your growth. Your next level isn't after the pain, it's hidden in it. Go find it. Your identity shapes your outcome. When you change how you see yourself, your results change too. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing how you see yourself. Identity isn't just some abstract concept. It's the filter through which every decision is made, every risk is calculated, and every opportunity is either seized or ignored. Most people are not limited by their resources. They're limited by their self-image. You will never consistently live in a way that contradicts the person you believe yourself to be. Think about that. If deep down you believe you're average, you'll sabotage excellence. If you believe you're not worthy, you'll repel anything that looks like success. That's not fate. It's identity friction. You've been programmed to perform at the level of your self-perception, not your potential. That's why personal development is not about adding more skills. It's about aligning your identity with the vision God placed inside you. Psychologically, this is what we call cognitive congruence. The mind always seeks consistency between belief and behavior. Philosophically, it's rooted in the idea that we become what we repeatedly tell ourselves. If you keep saying, "I'm just trying to make it," then don't be surprised when you keep struggling to thrive. Language shapes belief, and belief shapes identity. This is why affirmations work not because they're magic, but because they rewire your internal narrative. You don't rise by wishing, you rise by reframing. Start declaring who you are becoming, not just who you've been. Speak it until your behavior starts catching up with your belief. Because the truth is, you're not waiting on the world to see you differently. You're waiting on you to see you differently. And once you do, the world will have no choice but to respond accordingly. Your identity sets the ceiling, raise it, and watch your life rise with it. Discipline is the shortcut to freedom. Mastering your habits is how you master your destiny. Discipline is the bridge between your potential and your power. Everybody wants freedom, but few are willing to pay the price for it. And that price is discipline. Real freedom doesn't come from doing what you feel like. It comes from doing what you were called to do, whether you feel like it or not. That's where the breakthrough is. Emotion might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving when the excitement fades and the resistance shows up. Now, from a psychological perspective, discipline is the ability to override short-term impulses for the sake of long-term outcomes. It's not just about willpower, it's about systems, structure, and self-leadership. Without discipline, your talent is scattered, your focus is fragmented, and your time is stolen by distractions dressed up as opportunities. But with discipline, even average skill becomes powerful. Why? Because what you do consistently will always outperform what you do occasionally. Philosophically, discipline is an act of self-respect. When you're disciplined, you're not punishing yourself. You're honoring your future self. You're saying, "I believe in the person I'm becoming enough to make the hard choices now." That's a mature mindset. That's how you rise. Don't fall for the lie that freedom is found in avoiding responsibility. Real power is in mastery. And mastery isn't a mystery, it's a commitment to showing up daily, doing the work, and aligning your habits with your higher self. So stop asking, "What do I feel like doing?" and start asking, "What does my vision require of me today?" Because the life you want is not waiting on motivation. It's waiting on your discipline to match your destiny. Faith unlocks the next level. Belief isn't optional. It's the fuel that ignites your internal fire. Let's be honest, without faith, you're stuck. You can have the vision, the resources, even the right environment, but if you don't believe, none of it activates. Faith isn't optional, it's essential. It's the operating system that powers every step you take toward your potential. Without it, you hesitate. With it, you move, even when the path isn't clear, even when the evidence isn't visible. Faith is how you access what your senses can't confirm, but your spirit knows is real. From a psychological angle, Faith rewires the way your brain processes uncertainty. It creates what's called positive expectancy, a mindset that anticipates favorable outcomes. That's not delusion, it's direction. It focuses your energy. It shifts your posture from survival to strategy. You stop reacting to fear and start responding with intention. You're no longer moved by what you see. You're anchored by what you believe. Philosophically, faith is the foundation of every great endeavor in history. No invention, no revolution, no act of transformation ever started with certainty. It started with belief, a deep conviction that something better, something greater was possible. The moment you allow that belief to guide your choices, you begin to reshape your reality. And let's be clear, faith isn't passive. It's active. Faith doesn't just speak. It moves, it builds, it invests, it risks, it obeys even before it understands. You don't need to see the whole staircase, you just need to take the next step. So if you're waiting for the perfect conditions before you act, you're not operating in faith. You're operating in fear disguised as logic. Faith is the currency of progress. Spend it boldly because the future you want is already waiting on your belief to catch up. Life beyond excuses, not within them. Excuses are the graveyard of potential. Rise above them. Let's talk about excuses because they sound reasonable, but they're rarely truthful. Excuses are dressed-up lies we tell ourselves to justify staying small. They feel safe, even logical, because they allow us to avoid responsibility while still feeling righteous. But the reality is this. Every time you choose an excuse over execution, you trade your power for comfort. And comfort, when it becomes a lifestyle, is the quiet killer of potential. Psychologically, excuses are a form of self-preservation. They help us protect our ego from the pain of failure or rejection. But that protection comes at a cost: stagnation. You cannot grow and justify your limitations at the same time. One has to go. Growth requires honesty. It demands that you stop blaming your past, your parents, your environment, your finances, and start asking, what can I do with what I have right now? Philosophically, excuses are a surrender of agency. When you make excuses, you place your life in the hands of external circumstances. But power is reclaimed the moment you say no more. No more hiding behind lack of time. No more waiting for the perfect opportunity. No more rehearsing reasons why you're not where you want to be. Because the truth is, you can have reasons or results, but not both. This is where personal transformation begins, not in motivation, not in inspiration, but in decision. The decision to live above excuses. The decision to lead your life, not just live it passively. And here's what you need to understand. The life you want doesn't require perfect conditions. It requires personal ownership. Excuses are easy, but ownership is empowering. Choose the path that leads to who you were truly designed to become.